How you doing? Hey, what's happening, baby? Y'all remember that song? I'm just sitting here relaxing today, but I was doing some research and reading, and I just come on to say the world is our oyster. It's up to us to find the pearl. Hey guys, how you doing? I just come on to say the world is our oyster. It's up to us to find the pearl. I was doing some research today and considering um, some of the travel programs they have out now, and I was looking at some of the countries that allow like visa free, some of them that allow passports and citizenships. So there are many countries in the Caribbean that allow citizenships by investment. And so you'll find, I want to try to uh, okay, guys, I'm going to try to give you some information. Let me get this camera right. So I want um, to talk about two different things, citizenship by investment, as well as covering some countries that will offer you passports. I think, like I've just said, the world is your oyster. It's up to you to find your pearls. So, and there are no free rides in this process. If somebody is selling you a bill of goods, you can't believe them because that's not the way things are happening. So currently, there are 15 countries by that offer citizenship by investment. That's Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and St. Nevis. St. Kitts and St. Nevis is fairly expensive there, but it is beautiful. But the type of investment, I think, is the lowest investment out of most of these 15 countries. Out of four or five, it would be the one that has the less investment. You have Turkey, you have North Macedonia, Cambodia, the Malta, Dominica passport. You can do Austria, Cyprus, and Grenada. So when it comes to the passports, I just want to take a look at some of the requirements for the passports. And you can just Google this information on just go to Google and type in citizenship by investment countries. In St. Kitts and St. Nevis, it says it has the longest running citizenship by investment, and it's a visa free country. Also, in this program, it offers the economics program for it, and there are significant tax benefits for those who are interested in citizenship by investment. I believe the total amount for investment, I'm going to say it's about $100,000 US dollars, but you can go to Global Citizenship Solutions by investment, and then it will tell you the requirements of getting a citizenship by investment passport. And you don't have to relinquish your US passport when it comes to these types of grants, but you do have to meet the financial requirements, and there are several areas of investment. So again, that's you can go to Global Citizen Solutions You can also go type in Google citizenship by investment. There's a other couple of places. If you go to Grenada, Grenada has a passport option. So the Grenada passport has visa-free access to 145 countries, and it's also under that citizen based investment program. So there's about 15 different companies now, like I said, are countries, and the required amount for a Grenada passport is 150,000. You can either do it in a donation, real estate, as citizen option, and that gives you the E2 US visa potential for your passport. So those are some of the passport. Let's take a look at Antigua. It's pretty much the same thing. There's a required amount for investment, and it's also offer visa free to several different countries. I think one of the strongest citizenship by investment when you're looking at Africa. Let me take a look at Africa. Citizenship by investment, African countries. When you look at the African countries, the major companies, the top African countries are South Africa, Nigeria, and Egypt. And these are countries that allow second citizenship. You can also add Algeria to this African country list. So the five major um, countries is going to be Kenya. For Black Americans, you can add Kenya to the list as well as Ghana. So for African countries, what countries offer dual citizenship is Algeria, Angola, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cape Verde, the Gambia, Kenya, Nigeria, Niger, Sudan, South Africa, Sudan, Tunisia, Gambia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So that's going to be for dual citizenship. So let's look at, I really want to take a look at the citizenships by investment to try to get a full understanding of what that looks like when it comes to citizenship by investment in Africa. And you can look this up, but it's not as clear when it comes to Africa. But so I want to hit a couple of places. I'm going to look at Africa Investment Global Citizen Report. That's Henley and Partners. They've been around a long time. So you can pretty much rely on that information. So their website is www.henleyglobal.com, and then you want to take a look at the citizenship by investment. But it does take some looking into. So let's look at Egypt. Egyptian citizens benefit from the country's transcontinental positioning between Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. So those are like other countries you can travel to with this this Egyptian passport, and the investment is going to be 250 US dollars to get that citizenship and Egyptian passport. For Grenada, Grenada has the only Caribbean citizenship program that holds an E2 investor visa treaty with the U.S., allowing citizens to be eligible to apply for non-immigrant visa status. Jordan is fairly expensive. That's in Arab countries. You'll need 750,000 US dollars for the Citizenship investment program. In Antigua and Barbuda, you need 100,000 US dollars, and that pretty much covers all of the Caribbean. Same with Dominica. You can get that um, visa citizenship by investment as well. St. Kitts, St. Nevis has one of the strongest passports among all Caribbean citizenship programs. You can do a $250,000 donation. It doesn't restrict you to any type of business investments. Another one is St. Lucia. I don't know if you've been to St. Kitts, St. Nevis, and St. Lucia, but it's absolutely beautiful on those islands. And to have a second passport or citizenship is going to be critical, not just having a USA passport, but many passports, 3 or 4. You're not just being stuck. You can experience the world. If you get one of these visas, you'll have access, like St. Lucia is citizenship by investment. The program offers a real estate development option and visa free access to more than 140 destinations, and it requires $100,000 US investment. So, if you're seeking some real investment opportunities and what to do in Africa, if you can sit still and maybe take a look at some of these investments and make sure that, your dollars are being well spent and that it is making sense. Not only are you traveling and you're committed to a country, but also you have a stake in it, as well as an opportunity to have access to more than 165 countries on some of these visas without requiring on some of these passports, excuse me, without requiring a second visa. So here are like the top 8 African countries offering citizenship to African Americans. And I'm not a big proponent of just this offering citizenship, so it has to be some meat on the bones of what you're doing. So be very careful. There are a lot of scams out there when it comes to offering residency and citizenship. So for African Americans, the continent is opening up more and more, and many are asking us to come home. But we also have to understand what we're coming home to. They're not just expecting us to come slowfully with $10 in our pocket, begging for assistance. There's no government programs or government assistance there. So the call is for entrepreneurs and business investors, people that have a certain amount of money that they can make a contribution to the country. It's lovely to be able to go, to be able to visit, but having these levels or types of investment is going to give you an opportunity to be more far reaching than just going with $400, $500, or whatever it is that you're going to another country with, whether it's the Caribbeans, whether it's Africa, whether it's South America. Turkey is another country, but I believe the investment packet on that is at about 400,000 or 500,000 US dollars. So Ghana still is running its right to abode in Ghana, and those are some of the Ghana is another country that's offering that beyond the year of return. Sierra Leone, it has a right to return. They offering citizenship by descent to individuals who can prove their lineage. This initiative is grounded in the belief of reuniting the diaspora with ancestral lands. So if you've taken like Ancestry DNA tests and it has you're a Sierra Leonean or one of the tribes from Sierra Leone, then you have a right to abode. All you need is proof of lineage, and that could be through your um, ancestry DNA test, and then approve. They said upon proving ancestry, individuals can obtain full citizenship, and various cultural immersion programs will be available to help these new citizens assimilate. And granted, that is without giving up your passport. So another one that I'm really excited about is Nigeria. Nigeria is embracing dual nationalities. So Nigeria has recognized the value of its global community, though there are certain limitations on acquiring Nigerian citizenship, especially through naturalization. There's a strong push to accommodate those with Nigerian origins. In recent events, Nigeria granted citizenship to hundreds of foreign nationals, emphasizing the mutual love and loyalty between the country and its new citizens. So you need to be able to prove your lineage in Nigeria. Upon proving ancestry, individuals can obtain full citizenship. There's an integration program, there's cultural immersion programs to help you assimilate. South Africa has a bold move taking place now in strengthening ties. So there's the benefits of that is the cultural exchange. Black or African Americans relocating to South Africa will bring with them a blend of African American culture, which can intermingle with South African traditions, creating a richer, more diverse tapestry. Now, I absolutely love South Africa. It is so beautiful. I had the opportunity to go to Pretoria, to Soweto, to Cape Town, to Hoedspruit, about 7 or 8 different countries in South Africa. I really enjoyed myself, but it's lifestyles of the rich and famous, particularly in Cape Town. It was so expensive, but the food was delicious and the stay was good. So I had a wonderful time in South Africa. So they're looking at creating economic growth with the influx of African Americans, professionals, entrepreneurs, investors, growth, innovative, and development in various sectors of the South African economy. So they want to strengthen the international ties and pave the way for enhanced collaboration between US and South Africa in such a way that it spans diplomacy, trade, and cultural exchanges. Now, Gabon is an interesting one. They're strengthening ties with the diaspora as well. You need proof of ancestry. Once it is proven, you'll gain full citizenship. And then they also have integration programs reconnecting the diaspora community through cultural, economic, and social initiative. Now, this one is interesting. Cape Verde towards inclusive national identity. So Cape Verde has enacted laws allowing people of Cape Verdean descent to apply for nationality, emphasizing its commitment to nurturing an inclusive national identity. The Cape Verdean ancestry, you have to prove that you have ancestry there and you'll be integrated as well and you get full citizenship. Zimbabwe is opening the doors. This is a landmark decision that has captured global attention. Zimbabwe has announced its plan to offer free citizenship to Black Americans. This audacious move signifies Zimbabwe's commitment to strengthening the bond between the African continent and its diaspora. The proposal stands as a testament to the nation's vision for fostering international unity, collaboration, and mutual growth. So, with Zimbabwe, there's an opportunity, but you also have to present the information that's required to be considered a citizenship. It's free citizenship. Doesn't appear to be as challenging as the other countries. Kenya also is offering the same opportunity. If you bring your skills, your knowledge, and potential investment. So I'm assuming that the investment is not going to be as high on these Caribbean countries. So you may be able to have access to various different countries. So I think really it is first important to understand the purpose and intent, and then to acknowledge that you have the opportunity to experience the world, and you can go wheresoever you choose to with the money that is required to travel to these places. There are many, many, many places where you can go and obtain residency under the citizen based investment programs. Cameroon has it, Kenya is one, the Caribbean offers many. So you can gain different types of citizenships. You can gain a passport through the Caribbean as well as Africa. It just depends on what your goal is. Now, is it important to have more than one passport? I say yes. The U.S. had one of the strongest passports, but that is no longer the case when you get to places like Sweden, Switzerland. These are some of the higher ranking passports in the world that you can have today. So if you want to look at migration and how Africa and the trajectory of Africa as far as growth markets for investments and migration and the ability to have an alternative residence and or citizenship. Some of them require as less as a 12-month period, anywhere from 1 month to 5 months, 12 months. It just depends on your level of investment. And you want to make sure you're looking at investments where you're not paying dual taxes. So if you're doing business in the Caribbean, Africa, you want to make sure that you are not obligated to pay X amount of dollars. And the way to do that is through citizenship. You once you become a citizen, or once you obtain a passport, you're responsible for paying taxes in the place where your passport has been issued. So you want to make sure that you're looking at all options and all scenarios. I wanted to talk about Portugal has one, and I actually know somebody from Europe who's Jamaican who moved to bought land in Portugal recently. And so I've seen the land, just pictures of it. It's extremely beautiful, but can she sustain herself and be satisfied? She can sustain herself, but will she be physically, mentally, emotionally satisfied in Portugal? And after a short period of time, she has discovered that she will not be. So when it comes to St. Kitts and St. Nevis, it's a dual island in the Caribbean, and it has beautiful beaches, tropical landscapes. Its culture is diverse with African, British, Caribbean, and French influences, and these islands mainly speak French, so that's another consideration. But I did want to come on and give you some options and to maybe talk about, what are the things, because you hear a lot of repats going back home, and you're hearing from African countries, we need the diaspora in America to come back home, to come to Africa. But you got to understand, they look at us as an ATM machine. When you go, what level of investment will you have? What kind of relationship? What does that look like? And I want to mention two places that I have not gone, but that's on my next list to go. It's going to be Mauritius and Seychelles. Those are the most frequented places that allows dual citizenship opportunities without going into deep pockets or investments. Namibia is another one of them. So I was trying to get some information on Seychelles and Mauritius to see what the requirements were for them, but I'm not seeing it now, but I had it earlier. I'm going to be sharing the link with you, but if you type in citizenship by investment, you will get a list of countries and the types of citizenships that they are offering. It's a unique opportunity. Rwanda has one as well. In exchange for $100,000, you get citizenship. You get that Rwanda passport. So as the world turns, and that when we're looking at the changes, global changes that are taking place in the world today, it's important to diversify your monies and yourself. So I've heard a lot of people say today they don't want to put their egg in one basket, and I understand that. Here's the information on Mauritius. It requires a minimum investment. This is like the lowest amount of investment. 50,000 in a business activity to get a 10-year residence visa. It is promoted by the Mauritius Economic Board. A foreign investor who invests at least 375,000 in real estate or qualified business activity is eligible to apply for a permanent residence permit. An exclusive 20-year residency is given to ensure you settle and your business is proactive. So they are giving you a 20-year residency to make sure that you settle in properly and that your business is proactive. In Seychelles, an investor is eligible to apply for permanent residence by investment by have made a 1 million or more in business. An investor who has been granted a permanent resident or citizenship and wishes to be accompanied by a spouse and children will need to apply for a dependent permit in Seychelles. Let's look at Ethiopia. Not too many people are going to Ethiopia. For South Africa, resident permit to foreigners who are contemplating investing in the South African economy by establishing a business or investing in an existing business in the country must apply for a business visa. if it is his or her intention to be employed in the business, at least 5 million in cash. That's rands. That's rands. 5 million rands in cash and capital to be invested in the Republic. So your money goes a long way in South Africa too. I can't remember what rands are to dollars, but in 13, it wasn't that much. Excuse me. In Kenya, you have to invest $100,000. You must obtain an investment secured certificate upon request and proof of investment. Mm. And they have Egypt and Ghana. Ghana has enjoy the stability. So you need a Ghana business visa. It provides investment opportunities for foreigners to invest and settle in Ghana. So I think the one of the issues is dealing with the government in these investments. If you had an opportunity to pick the type of investment outside of the government, then you have more control over how or where your investment is going. So you might want to ask that question or look into opportunities. And when you applying for this citizen-based investment residency or passport, you might want to say, this is the agency or the company or the organization that I looked into. This is what I want to do. And you build a plan and a platform to support that organization, and you apply for citizenship through that. I think it's critical for us to have more than one passport. Morocco has a foreign investor partner established. The Moroccan Agency for Investment and Export Development is responsible for promoting national as well as international um, investments. And we already talked about Cape Verde. We talked about the permit and the residency for 5 years. It is renewable. Zambia is another interesting place. It says for Zambia, if you want to invest in business, you should be joining an already existing company. You can spend 250,000 US dollars for a new business and 150,000 if you want to join an existing company in Zambia. Malawi is so beautiful in Malawi. I love it, love it, love it. The mountains, the rivers, the lakes, the nature in Malawi is just to die for. So there's an investment of $50,000. You should make an application for an investment certificate from Malawi Investment and Trade. The permit is valid for 5 years from the date and is renewable for a successive 5 year period. And then Nigeria, the cost is 250,000 to 500,000. It just depends on the level of investment. There's a police report that's required, and the applicant was resident in the last 5 years, and documentary proof of investment in Nigeria. And you have Tanzania. I think some of these are the more difficult ones to get into. Tanzania, Rwanda. I'm interested in Uganda. It has an investment authority, the investment license to both domestic and foreign companies. There is 50,000 for domestic investors and 250,000 for foreign investors. And it says some sectors require regulatory license: mining, manufacturing of drugs, Before applying for an investment license, all foreign nationals intending to work in Uganda must ensure that they are in possession of the relevant work permit. And that's fairly easy to get once you go through these processes. So this is what I wanted to share with you, today, that there is more than one way to skin a cat, and there are countless opportunities for you to do it the right way without putting yourself at risk when you're dealing with scammers and all of these people saying come home, but they have no actual plan for you. So if any of these countries interests you, I would say reach out to the entities, the organizations or government ran departments that are responsible for oversight. You can write them, reach out to them. You may not have the required amount of investment, but you can also go and do some in-kind work. I say reach out to them and see what you can do and if they can meet you halfway. That is better than listening to someone on YouTube saying, come home, come to Africa, when the Africans, a lot of them don't want you home, but they want your investment. And so you need to understand that. But the call to repatriate to Africa, the call for African Americans to come back home to Africa is the call for development and investment. So, love, peace, and light. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait for the next video to come out. I'm going to be asking a question when they say repatriation. Are we prepared to return to Africa with knowledge, skills, and abilities? Or should we return? Because I'm going to tell you something. What I've seen so far, in my opinion, many diasporas need to stay exactly where they are until they can get it together. And that's just not me judging them. That's me seeing and knowing what the country needs and what we need to do in order to be successful in foreign waters, whether it's Africa or the Caribbeans or wherever we choose to be. I've registered my business in the United States, United Kingdom, and Africa, and I'm finding it to be quite a joy. So, but it's just doing it the right way, taking your time. There is no easy way, but there is a right way and the best way. Peace, love, and light. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Don't forget to watch, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.